Be me. 21, fresh out of college, convinced I've got life figured out. Still waiting for that real job to land, so I pick up shifts at a cafe downtown. Big sister's always dropping wisdom since her divorce. Her favorite line? A man who doesn't pay is not worth your time. Standards, sis. I soak it up like gospel, repeat it back to my friends until it sounds like my own idea. She tells the divorce story like it's a cautionary tale. Your brother-in-law was pathetic, one job and thought that was enough. A real man would have picked up side hustles, 2, 3 gigs if he had to. I wasn't about to suffer just because he wanted to rest. The way she says rest drips like it's a dirty word. I nod along, half horrified, half convinced. If she left him for that, then men really have no excuses. They should make sure their partners live like queens, right? Friday night, I'm pulling on my one fancy dresses from H&M, hair straightened, heels borrowed from my friend. As I'm checking myself in the mirror, my sister pokes her head in. Where you going? She asks, smirk already loaded. I tell her, dinner with Josh, guy from my comms class. She snorts like it's funny already. Josh? He rich? I laugh. No, he's 22, works part-time at Best Buy. She shakes her head, muttering like I'm the dumbest person alive. Then why bother? If a man isn't providing, he's just practice. Minimum requirement, he pays. If he can't drop at least 100 on a date, he's not serious. She keeps going, bitterness dripping like she's rehearsed this 1,000 times. Your sister didn't waste 10 years on a man who couldn't give me what I deserved just so you could make the same mistake. Sorry, but if a man loves you, he'll find 3 jobs before he lets you struggle. I nod, swallowing it whole. Her voice has that sharp edge that makes it sound like truth. So when I leave the house, her words are still buzzing in my head. If Josh doesn't pay, he's not worth my time. Josh shows up in his dented Civic, deodorant covering a day's work shift. He's sweet, awkward, asks me where I want to eat. I drop, let's do that new Italian spot downtown. He hesitates, just for a blink, but then forces a smile. Yeah, sure, sounds good. The hostess sits us by the window. I skim down and my eyes nearly bug out. $24 pasta, $14 cocktails, even the bread basket isn't free. Part of me hesitates, but then my sister's voice echoes, if he can't afford dates, he can't afford you. So I order confidently, leaning back like I've done this 100 times. Josh, meanwhile, fiddles with his napkin, tries to start small talk, asks me about my capstone project. If I'm excited to graduate, I give half answers, scrolling the wine list, then tilt my head. So what about you? What's the big plan after school? He rubs the back of his neck, admits quietly, honestly, I'm still figuring things out. Thinking about doing IT certs, maybe start in tech support and work my way up. For a second, I almost nod, sounds reasonable, responsible even, but then my sister's script hits me like a slap. A real man has a plan, not excuses. So I laugh. Sharp. Tech support? Really? You know guys our age are making 6 figures flipping crypto or doing e-commerce, right? He chuckles, embarrassed, says, yeah, but I don't want to gamble. I just want something stable, you know? Again, part of me thinks, okay, fair, but I can't let it show, so I roll my eyes. Stable sounds like settling. My sister says a man should be striving, not coasting. Josh goes quiet for a beat, then pivots, asking what I want long term. I sip my cocktail, shrug. Someone who can keep up. Someone who isn't afraid to work for what I deserve. He just nods, smiles faint, like he's swallowing the sting. Dinner drags on, conversation wobbling between his small dreams and my sharp corrections. Every time he says something grounded, I hear my sister in my head, and my voice shifts sharper. By dessert, he's mostly nodding while I talk. When he excuses himself to the bathroom, I pull my phone under the table. Group chat. Lights up instantly. I type. Okay, so, date update. Josh is sweet, but broke. Works retail, talks about getting into IT, dreams small, menu is dollars, and I'm not paying a dime, so at least he knows the basics. But like, how do y'all deal with a guy who thinks stable is enough? Replies fire back fast. Sophia. LMAO drop him. If he can't spoil you now, imagine later. Jenna. At least he's paying tonight. Order dessert. Make it worth the trip. Kara. Watch how much he tips too. That's how you know if he's solid. Minimum 20%. Anything less equals broke energy. When Josh returns, smiling tired but polite, my chest buzzes like I've already won. Then the waiter drops the check like a silent grenade. Josh reaches for it. I keep my eyes on the dessert menu like I'm not watching every move. First tap, decline beep. He forces a laugh. Guess the bank's not a fan of linguine. Then tries again. Second tap works, but his shoulders stiffen, jaw tight, my stomach knots even though I pretend not to notice. He pulls out his phone, doing quick math under the table. I hear Kara's voice in my head. Minimum 20%. Anything less equals broke energy. My throat dries. I want him to pass this test to prove he's solid, so I lean in, casual as I can manage. 20% standard, you know? He nods slowly, scribbles a little more than that. Anyway, I watch the total cross into triple digits, see the flicker of pain cross his face, and something twists in me, like I should feel bad. But I shut it down quick, because isn't this the standard? Isn't this what men are supposed to do if they really want to date someone like me? Sis is going to be so proud of me. Outside, he offers to drive me home. Low fuel light blinks on the dash. The second we pull out, he pulls into a gas station, kills the engine, and gets out without a word. I watch him stop the pump at $10.08 flat. Phone buzzes on the console. Rent due tomorrow, auto pay. Another buzz right after, Mum's meds ready for pickup. I glance away like I didn't see. Not my problem, I tell myself. Standards are standards. Back in the car, he tries a joke, glancing at the blinking fuel light. Silver lining, less gas means the car's lighter. We'll get better mileage now. I force a polite giggle while sliding my phone under my coat. Sophia. Where you at, sis? Proof of life. I smirk, snap a pic of the dash, pump meter glowing with a sad little $10.08, send it without caption. The replies roll fast. Jenna. Nah, not $10. Kara. Girl, that's not gas, that's fumes. Sophia. If he budgets fuel like that, imagine the ring. I'm getting a bit embarrassed now, starting to agree with them more by the time he pulls up at my curb and says softly, text me when you're inside? He seems all right, but the girls and my sis wouldn't approve of him, and if I deserve better, then why settle for less? Next morning at the cafe, I'm dragging through a shift when Liam slumps onto the counter. He's got that hollow-eyed look, dumps his apron beside the register and mutters, I'm done with dating apps. Swear I'm just paying cover charges at this point? I laugh, wiping foam off the steamer. Cover charges? What, like clubs? He shakes his head, pulls out his phone and flips it around. A spreadsheet. Neat columns. Dinner, Uber, drinks and tips. Row after row, totals in red at the bottom. 2 weeks, he says, tapping the screen. 5 first dates, 400 gone, not a single callback. I blink, half shocked, half amused. Well, dating costs money. Women deserve effort, he snorts, leans on the counter. Effort or invoices? The words hang there heavier than I expect, and I feel myself bristle just to cover the pause. I roll my eyes, trying to sound smug. Maybe you're just picking the wrong girls. He shrugs, doesn't argue, just smirks, like he's too tired to care. Or maybe the game's rigged? I cross my arms, chin high. Fine then, prove it. Take my card on your next date. Let's see if it's really that bad, since you make it sound like rent money. I'm half grinning, already convinced he'll max out at a dinner and maybe a drink. $50? Tops? Liam's eyebrows shoot up, then he grins sharp. You sure about that? I wave him off. Yeah, why not? You said it's all normal stuff, right? Normal doesn't bankrupt anybody. He leans closer, voice dropping low. You'll never know what it's actually like till you experience it in our shoes. Arcade, rooftop, mini-golf, dessert, the whole script. Nothing cheap, nothing skipped. I laugh like I've called his bluff, but he doesn't laugh back, just plucks my card from my hand, sliding it into his wallet like it's already his. And suddenly, I feel like I set the trap for him, but walked right into it myself. Friday hits, my phone pings with charges all evening. Ubers, tickets, drinks, each one like a breadcrumb trail I can't stop following. Curiosity wins, so I slip down to the boardwalk, hoodie up, lurking like a spy. First stop, the arcade. I hang by the claw machines, pretending to text. Liam's at the change counter, buying tokens. Maya's already chatting up the guy working there, twirling her hair, while Liam carries the bucket. They hit skee-ball. Liam cheers her on when she scores low, offers her his turn. She waves him off, pouts into her phone camera, then squeals when a tall stranger in a varsity jacket gives her a "let me show you" wink. Liam steps back, lets it happen, still swipes the card for another round. My phone buzzes. 38, arcade tokens plus snacks. I nearly choke. $38 just to watch her flirt with some random guy? Ping. Uber. I trail them to a rooftop bar, sneak a seat 2 tables over. I order water and tell the waiter my friends will be here in 40 minutes to buy time. Liam orders cocktails, sets his on her side so she can get the perfect shot for Instagram. She takes 10 photos, none with him in frame. When he tries to start a story about work, she cuts him off mid-sentence. Ugh, this playlist is trash. Can we go somewhere better? He nods, signals for the check without arguing. Ping. $64 rooftop tab, $64 for her Instagram feed. Not even a real conversation. Ping. Mini golf. I jog ahead, duck behind a glowing windmill prop. Liam keeps score, playful, patient. Maya misses a shot and groans, tosses the club aside. This is so tacky, she mutters, then spots a group of guys in polos 2 holes over. Her laugh turns brighter, sweeter, the kind she never gave Liam. She lingers near them, asking if they can take her picture for memories. Liam waits off to the side, holding 2 putters like extra baggage and paying for bottled water. She never finishes. Ping. Dessert cafe? I follow them inside, sugar and espresso in the air. Liam buys her a molten cake and a latte, then just a drip coffee for himself. She scrapes off the frosting, barely touches the rest, complains it's too sweet, then leans into the booth with her phone, swiping through TikTok while he tries to talk about his little sister's birthday. She doesn't even look up, just hums like background noise. My phone buzzes again. $22 molten cake plus coffee. I roll my eyes. $22 for her to scroll TikTok. Another ping right after. $24 rideshare. Final tab stacked on the others, easily pushing past 200 in one night. I slip out before they see me, stomach twisted, and all I can think is, this is what it costs just to be ignored? Nah. Liam probably just needs to up his game. That night, after all the pings finally stop, I stare at my phone for a while, itching to ask what happened or see what he'd say. I cave, type casual. So, how'd the date go? 3 dots, then his reply, fine. Same old. I guess I press. Same old? He answers quick. Yeah, laughs, selfies, drinks. She barely touched dessert. Pretty normal. I stare at the screen, thumb hovering, because what rattled me felt brutal, draining, humiliating. But the way he says it, flat, casual, like weather small talk, it's just a usual day to him. Still, I open my banking app, needing something solid to blame. The $214.83 glares back at me, bold as a headline. My thumbs fly. You didn't have to make it expensive. We could have done cheap stuff. I hover. Delete it. Type. You were just trying to prove a point, right? Delete again. What I finally send is nothing. Just a tiny got it that tastes like denial. Monday morning at the cafe, Liam slides my card back across the counter. No speech, just a folded printout with the totals circled. I tuck it into my apron without looking. The paper feels heavy as a brick, and then out of nowhere, Josh texts, "Hey, hope your weekend's good. Still down to hang? Coffee by the river?" Coffee. The word lands like an attack on my standards. I type back, "Let's do something nicer, my treat." He sends a cautious smile. "You sure?" Me. Positive. Rooftop at 7. I booked us a table. Rooftop at 7. I get there early. Hand the host my card to start a tab. Josh shows up in a clean polo, hair still damp like he sprinted from a shower. He smiles, a little unsure. "You didn't have to book this." I smile back. "I wanted to." It sounds confident coming out of my mouth. Inside it feels like a dare to myself. We order. He picks a beer. I point at a cocktail I can't pronounce. For a while it's easy, sun bleeding out behind the skyline. Then I decide to steer it where I need it to go. "Be honest," I say, twirling the straw. "Do you guys hate paying for dates now?" He blinks, then half laughs. Loaded question. I mean, I add fast. My sister says a man who doesn't pay isn't worth my time. She divorced her ex because he wouldn't pick up extra jobs. Said resting was selfish. Josh studies the condensation on his glass. "I get why she feels that way," he says carefully. "But I think a lot of us are broke in public and scared in private." Broke? I echo, trying not to sound judgmental. Or just not trying hard enough. He shrugs. "Sometimes trying means paying $100 to get told you're sweet, but..." Last month I did dinner. 95, Uber there and back. 30-something. Flowers on the way. 15. Tip. 20. Next morning I got the "I didn't feel a spark" text. He takes another sip. That's fine. Sparks happen, or they don't. But now, I'm down a bill and a weekend. My brain wants to argue. Effort is part of dating, so I say it. But effort matters. If you want something serious, you invest. His mouth tips. I agree. I just think we're confusing investment with cover charge I pick at the paper edge under the candle. So you're saying women use you for free dinners? He shakes his head. I'm saying the rules make it easy not to care. If I suggest a walk and coffee, it reads, not serious. If I offer to split, it reads, broke. If I pay big, that's baseline, not special. And if I set a budget, I'm stingy. The coffee word stings. I remember snapping at Liam's text, and I push it away with a joke. Okay, economist. What's your model for romance then? Josh grins despite himself. Low stakes first, talk first dates, rotate who pays, scale effort with interest. He looks at me. I'll happily pay in a relationship. I just don't want to keep auditioning as a wallet. I tilt my head, testing him, but ambition counts. Like, men should strive. Striving and hemorrhaging aren't the same, he says. I'm taking certs, stacking savings, paying my mom's prescriptions. If I blow rent money to prove I'm worthy, am I striving or performing? I try to pivot. My sister says if a man loves you, he finds 3 jobs. Josh nods, not defensive, just steady. Some do, some break their backs, some break their brains. My buddy did doubles for months to impress a girl, burned out, got dumped anyway. He sets his glass down. Love shouldn't be a spending contest. The waiter swings by. I wave for another round because I hate the silence I helped make. Josh lifts a hand. I'm good, thanks. The waiter turns to me. I order anyway. When he leaves, Josh flicks me a look. You don't need to keep buying things to keep this going. I fire back faster than I mean to. Isn't that what guys do? His eyebrows go up, not angry, surprised. That's the point. Why should either of us? I sit with that one, watching the city blink on below us. So that's why men don't want to pay anymore, I ask finally. Because it's expensive? Because it's expensive and empty, he says. Rejection is fine. Rejection with a receipt wears you down. I think of Liam's spreadsheet, the $10 gas, the rooftop check I pushed him to tip over, and my voice comes out smaller than I like. Maybe some girls? Don't realize? Some do, he says gently. Some don't care. Most are just following a script they were handed. He looks at me like he knows I have one in my pocket. You too. My sister says. I start, then stop. He nods for me to finish. She says, if he can't afford dates, he can't afford you. Josh takes a breath. Then your sister's asking for a pay stub, not a partner. He doesn't say it mean, and somehow that makes it land harder. I change angles, defensive. So what? Women should pay now. Women should choose now, he says. Choose the date, the spend, the pacing, the man. If you want control, lead. If you want partnership, share. But if you want a provider, be honest and find a provider. Just don't call every man a failure for refusing the audition. The waiter comes back, check in hand, sets it down with a polite nod. He had my card from before. A minute later, he returns. Lips tight in a professional smile. I'm sorry, your card didn't go through. Do you have another? My stomach drops, heat rushing up my neck. I fumble in my bag, stalling. Then Josh just slides his card across, calm as anything. I've got it, he says, tone easy, like this is nothing new. The waiter vanishes again. I stare at the candle so I don't have to meet his eyes. He doesn't gloat, doesn't even comment, just signs when the slip comes back, tucks the receipt into the folder like muscle memory. On the walk out, he breaks the silence first. Really, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate the thought. And part of me is already drafting the excuse. Well, that's how it should be anyway, right? In the elevator mirror, I mutter the line my sister drilled into me. Men should always pay. That's just how it is. But my reflection stares back flat, like even it doesn't buy it.